I was staying at a hotel on a Spanish island, and on this particular day, I was chilling in the pool, just cooling off from the heat. And sitting a few feet away from me was a girl, so I got talking to her. She was nice, I think she was from California. A few hours later, I was in her hotel room for Bible study, of course. Now, at some point, her friend that she came with walks into the room, and we were just messing around, flexing in the mirror. It was this picture right here, actually. And her friend goes and sits down on the bed, and she says to me, "Christian, your abs are too good. Have you got ab implants?" Now, I found that funny, but it just goes to show that most guys are lacking when it comes to an attractive physique, because presumably she'd never seen abs like that in real life before. So in this video, I'm going to show you the two factors that you need in order to get impressive abs and get similar reactions to that. Some guys have only one of these factors. Most guys have none. So when you have both, that's when you start to look seriously amazing. So like I said, getting good looking abs is not complicated at all. The only two things that you need to think about is your body fat percentage and your ab muscle development. That's it. You need the muscle development in your abs so you can actually make those ridges more pronounced, so they pop more. If you don't have the muscle development, you can still look okay if you're at a low body fat percentage, but they're going to be more flat and won't be as visible, not as much as you want them to be. And then you need to be at a low body fat percentage to actually reveal those abs that you've built. If you're not lean, you can completely forget about seeing your abs at all. You can forget about being attractive at all, to be honest with you. You need to be lean so you can see your abs, your face, your other muscles in general. It's very important. Now, like I mentioned before, there's some guys that actually have well-developed ab muscles already, but they're too fat to see them, so they'll never be visible. And then there's some guys who are actually lean enough already. They just don't have those well-developed abs. Now, I'd always rather be on this side, to be lean with less developed muscles. But ideally, you're going to have both, right? Because when you've got both optimized, when you've got both factors in check, the compound effect is very high. There are no shortcuts with this, unless you're willing to go get ab implants, right? Very stupid. You can't fake either component. There was a point in time where I was the guy who had well-developed abs, but I was at a high body fat percentage, so they weren't visible at all. So I can tell you from experience that both elements are non-negotiable. So to see clear defined abs, you need to be at about 8 to 12% body fat. 8% is obviously very lean and you're going to look very shredded at that point, but 12% is going to be the bare minimum to be able to see your abs well. Realistically, you want to work towards somewhere around 10%, and that's going to highlight your abs, and then the rest of your physique will look great as well. That's the range of body fat percentage that's going to make your physique and your abs look impressive. There's going to be guys that are upset that they can't be 15% body fat and eat fucking donuts all day and still look good. But unfortunately, that's just how it works. So if you want to have an attractive physique and have clear defined abs that look good, you're going to need to get lean. It's a commitment that you have to make, but it's well worth it. A lot of guys who go to the gym as well tend to trick themselves. You know, they might see some beginnings of ab definition with the perfect lighting. They're flexing really hard. They've not eaten anything, but they're like 15% body fat. And if they go outside into the sun, they're just barely scraping the barrier in terms of not being fat. And to guys like me who have high standards, and hopefully you as well, they are fat. So don't do that to yourself. Most guys never get lean enough to see the true potential of their physique, to see the true potential of their face even. Think about it. Most guys go their whole life at like half the attractiveness level that they could potentially get to. Before I started getting lean, before I took the gym serious, before I took my health serious, I was just average as well. And now, I'm not even done yet, to be honest, but now girls are asking me if I model. You can get the same, you just have to start to unlock your potential. Now, in order to get lean, you need to have your nutrition dialed in. That's the most important aspect. You might have heard the phrase, abs are made in the kitchen. Well, no, they're not made in the kitchen, but they're certainly revealed in the kitchen. The difference between having abs and having abs that you can actually see is always going to be how lean you are, and therefore your diet, your nutrition. That's one thing that you can't do. You can't out-train a bad diet when it comes to having visible abs. You can still go to the gym and eat like shit and still have big arms, big chest, but you'll never have abs. In order to get lean, you just need to be in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. That's it. To get your caloric maintenance, you're going to go on a total daily energy expenditure calculator, put in your stats, your activity level, whatever, and that's going to give you an approximate number for the amount of calories that you burn in a day, just generally to maintain your weight. Then you take away however many calories you want from that. So 500 standard, you can go up to 1,000, like When I'm cutting, I usually tend to be a bit more extreme. I want to get it over with quickly. So 1,000 calories is going to be like near the higher end. And then you just stay in that calorie deficit that you've established for yourself for as long as it takes to get lean, really. You can reanalyze your calories along the way, because as you're losing fat, you're losing weight, which means your calorie maintenance is dropping. So you might need to steadily decrease your calories slightly, but you just do that until you're 8 to 12% body fat. Obviously, there's a lot of little things that you can do to optimize your fat loss and to make it easier to stay full and all this. But to put it simply, that's all you have to do, really. If you just want it in the simplest terms possible, you just get into a calorie deficit and you stay there until you're lean. Pretty much that's it. One thing that I would say is definitely eat 100% unprocessed foods. Make sure all the foods that you eat are clean, whole foods, and that's going to make everything a lot easier and make you feel better, make your skin look better, all good effects. Now, in terms of your ab training, how we're actually going to build the muscle there, what should we do? Planks, ab rollouts, 500 crunches? No, none of that bullshit. For some reason, when it comes to building the abs, people tend to forget that weights exist and they start doing unlimited planks. That's going to build you ab endurance, so you can do missionary for longer, which is a usefulness for it, I guess. But when it comes to actually building the abdominal muscles, you need to be training your abs just like the rest of your muscles. So optimally, that's going to mean training them with heavy weighted exercises for sets until failure. That's how any other muscle grows optimally, and it's going to be the exact same way for the abs. The two exercises that I do regularly for my abs are hanging leg raises and sit-ups. Now for the leg raises, I'll just put a medicine ball in between my feet and then lift it up until about parallel. And I'll do that until I can't do it anymore, between 4 and 8 reps, right? And I'll do a couple sets like that. For the sit-ups, I'll get on a sit-up machine, like a decline bench type of machine, where you can stabilize your feet and then you just perform a sit-up. But I'll do it with weight as well, because again, I'm training it heavy until failure. So at this point, I'm doing like 30, 65 or 70 pounds dumbbell in between my arms like this. And I'm doing the sit-up again between 4 and 8 reps. Just like any other muscle, you need to be progressively overloading your abs. So tracking the reps and the weight that you've done in your last workout with a workout tracking app or writing it down. And then so that the next workout, you can do more reps or more weight. That's how you should be training if you want to build your abs effectively. Now, the only part of the abdominals that we're not going to train is the obliques. So those are the muscles on the side of your abs. Still part of your core, but not on the front, on the side. You don't want to train your obliques because that's going to make your waist look wider. And if you want an attractive physique, you need a V-taper physique with a slim waist. If you thicken your obliques, that's going to detract from the V-taper, not looking as appealing. Your obliques will probably still be trained unintentionally, slightly, when you're doing your other ab exercises, and that's fine. There's nothing you can do about that. But you don't want to go ahead and then train them even more intentionally with oblique-specific exercises, because like I said, that's going to make your physique look worse. Having good abs and then combining that with the rest of the muscles that you need to have an attractive physique, like the lats, the upper chest, the shoulders, that's going to make your physique start to look unbelievably good. Now, there's an issue, and the issue is that a lot of guys, even when they get to a low body fat percentage and they have abs and they've revealed them, they only keep them for a couple months of the year. And that usually happens when a guy wants to get lean for a specific occasion, like a holiday or whatever, but they don't actually have the mindset to maintain a good, attractive physique year round, which is what you want ideally. When you're getting lean, you need to be going into it with the mindset that you're getting lean so you can stay lean forever. You're not getting lean, okay, just so I can see abs once. You want to have abs, good abs for the rest of your life. If you need to take your calorie deficit a little bit slower, just so you can get to a low body fat percentage sustainably and then stay there for as long as you want, that's definitely worth it, and you should do that instead of trying to get there as fast as possible and then you're so hungry and you rebound and you gain a lot of weight back, which makes it kind of a waste of time. And then when you've got well-developed abs, don't stop training them just because you've got them now. They're going to shrink just like any other muscle. You can maintain them if you want, if you're happy with where they are in comparison to your other muscles, but don't stop training them completely, because that's going to lead them to regress. And a few more common mistakes that guys make when trying to see their abs. One of them is going to be overtraining the abs, training them every day. That's not going to allow your abs to grow. You need to rest and recover just like the other muscles. To be honest, this is quite common because people, train their abs with planks and shit. But if you've never trained your abs with weights before, just go ahead and try it, do the sit-ups or the leg raises. And then when you wake up the next day, because you've not trained them with weights before, you're going to have such soreness, your stomach is going to feel like it's got a hole in it. And then you're going to realize, oh yeah, I actually can't train these every day. Another mistake is training the obliques, doing the side bends, the farmer's carries, the twisted machine, all these things that are going to lead to you having a thicker waist unnecessarily, which is going to make your V-taper look worse. And then don't make the mistake of not getting lean enough to actually see your abs. Getting lean is more important than building your abs, because if you're lean enough, whatever tiny ab muscle you might have, you're going to see it. And then you can build on top of that, right? You can get them larger and larger. So don't make that mistake. Don't be at a high body fat percentage and then be wondering, why have I not got abs? And also, don't train them inconsistently. Make sure they're at a regular place in your workout every time you do that workout. A lot of people just forget to do their abs conveniently. Of course they're not going to grow. You don't forget to train your chest, right? So make sure you don't forget to train your abs. They should be just as important, really. Honestly, having visible abs is proof that you're serious about your physique. It enhances everything. It shows that you're disciplined, you're healthy as well because you're lean. A lot of guys that go to the gym, they might have more muscle mass than the average man, but they don't have abs because they're not lean and it doesn't look good. They don't really look in shape, even though they should be. There's a certain type of confidence that you get when you know that you look good naked. You can take your shirt off anyway. You don't have to hide behind that t-shirt, right? You have those abs that everyone wants. You're lean, you're attractive. It only makes sense. Being lean and having those abs, that's what's going to turn your physique from like a gym bro, bodybuilder, obsessed with the gym type look into a sexy beach body. Girls love that and you feel great when you've got it. Implement the training, the diet stuff that I've taught you and put yourself in those situations and you're going to start to see what I'm talking about. If you want to build an attractive physique and want more help with it, then join my community, top link in the description, and we're going to unlock the potential of your physique.